Hi friends, today I am here again to give another class. And notes and lectures are ready for you and the UGC NET paper 1, the teaching aptitude. That is what we are discussing now and is the second class of the teaching aptitude. And here in this class we discuss about three topics. Okay, discuss only three topics. That is the nature and characteristics of teaching, maxims of teaching and basic requirements of teaching. So in this class we discuss only three small subtopics of the teaching aptitude. I think you are ready for the class. We can start. Okay, ready. Nature and characteristics of teaching. So first we are discussing about the nature and characteristics of teaching. The previous class we have discussed what is teaching. Teaching is imparting of the knowledge. Okay, we discussed that we have to mold the character of the student, imparting the knowledge, molding the character, communication is happening there. So in this class we are discussing about the nature and characteristics of teaching. What all things are in teaching, what all things are happening in teaching. So the main subdivisions of teaching, whatever it is, we are discussing here. What type is the or what is happening in teaching? So what is teaching? And now we are discussing its nature. What is the nature of teaching and its characteristics? Okay. So just listen here. First point is it is complex social process. So we know that inside a classroom or when a teacher is taking class to a class, what she is doing is she is taking a microsome of the society to the classroom. So we are discussing, we are building up a society inside the classroom. So it's a complex process. By usually we say that teaching is a great profession because we are building up a society. We are building up a society. So whatever is teaching inside a classroom or wherever it is going to the society. These students are going to the society and they are building up the society. So it is a complex process. Really, it is a complex process, and it is also a social process. Okay, we are the students are getting mingling with different kinds of students from the different family situation, different culture, different languages, whatever it is, they are mingling up together, they are getting the knowledge, they are able to build up a society. So all these complex processes happening in step by step in the teaching process. So that is the first thing, that is it is a complex social process. So complex means different things are studying at each levels in the teaching process. Okay, it is social means it is the part of a society, so it's a social thing. So complex social process. Next is both art and science is there in the teaching. It is sure that the teacher should have a capacity as an artist. She is beautifully portraying a society. She is beautifully building up a society. So should be a good artist. Okay, art means she is able to create these things. Okay, create. Artist means here means creating. She is creating a new society with a lot of values, all these things. Okay, so both should be an artist and a science. Science means she should be experimental. She should be analytical. So science is something connected with experiment and analytical. Okay, so both artistic and should be scientific also. So teaching is both art and science together, and it's a professional activity. We know that teaching is a profession. It's a profession. It's doing it's not just a job. It is a profession which has a great value in the society. That is, they are molding the students. They are giving knowledge to the students. It's a great thing. We know that in the ancient time itself the guru is given the next place next to the almighty. So as the same way, it is a great profession, is a professional activity, and it should be very compatible to the society. Okay, next is output emancipation from the teacher. A teacher should do such and such things. This is emancipating, that is the society is expecting it from the teacher. If teacher do something wrong, it will affect the whole society. Okay, the all the people will question it, why the teacher is doing this. Okay, so no one is expecting anything bad from a teacher. Only good outputs are coming from a teacher. Okay, so that is the great thing we know about the teacher. Then it's an organized activity. Organized activity means teacher should have some plans, then observations, that she is executing it. Okay, it should be in a proper manner. It should be in a proper manner. Without any proper manner, she cannot take any class. Okay, it's from the lower level, or it is in a higher level. It should be an organized activity. It should be organized, well prepared. Before taking a class, a teacher should have to prepare it well. She should have to present it well. She want to take the feedbacks. Okay, then she has to give again a good way to communicate the programs to the students. So it should be very organized way. Then dominated by the communication skill. A communication skill is very needed for a teacher. If she is not able to communicate it properly, then nothing, no knowledge is imparted to the students. Nobody is able to understand anything. So all these things is needed for a good teaching. Okay. So it is called the characteristics. Okay, what are the characteristics of teaching? One is the complex social process. We have already discussed. It's a complex thing. It is related to society, so it is social. It's both art and science. It's professional. Output emancipated. We are expecting something out from the teacher. Okay. Next is the organized activity. It should be in a proper order. Next is the dominated by communication skill. A teacher should have a high communication skill. Then only the students is able to understand it properly. So next we can see some more points is there. The some more points is in this one. We can view other also. See, just first listen to this. A amenable to scientific process. Amenable to scientific process means the first step is put by the teacher for the scientific process. So the teacher gave the curiosity to the students to search for the studies. So it is a scientific process. The teacher is starting it in the classes. So it is another characteristics of a teacher. Then interactive process. Interactive means one person is talking to the another and another person is talking back. So when a teacher is taking a class, see, if I am taking a class to you, you are listening to it, you are able to interact back, then it is an interactive process. As the same way, if a teacher is taking a class in a PG level or whatever level it is, she is interacting to the students. Okay, she is interacting to the, they are communicating to the students. The interactive process is happening. Various forms and styles are using by the teacher. Sometimes they will take the lecture methods, just stand there and take the lecture classes. Okay, then the others are just listening and observing it, and sometimes it will be interactive way. So the style, it is form and style is according to the classes and according to the teachers interest. Okay, then it will be apt to the age of the student who is sitting before you. So various forms and styles are also in the teaching. Different teaching skills are there. Skills is also needed for, see, the teacher has to do some chart works. Sometimes she want to make some models. Sometimes she want to communicate it well. It's also a skill. Okay, understand? Communication is another skill. Soft skills is needed. So different skills are needed for a teacher. She should be able to understand the students well. Dynamic. Dynamic means not static. She is able to give and give the things. Okay, it should not stop. It is always flowing out. A dynamic person should be there for the teacher, and it's a part of a social factor. Social factor means, it is a part of the society. So teaching contain all these characteristics. Understand? First we start from the complex social process. Understand? Complex social process. From the step by step we have seen the different characteristics of the teaching. Understand? You have to study all these things and to keep that in mind. They may ask some questions. Which one is not the part of the teaching characteristics, not the part of the teaching characteristics, or like that, something they may ask. So you have to know all these things. You just by heart it or understand it and study well. Okay, next we are going to the next topic. Is maxims of teaching. Maxims of teaching from means that is from word to word. Okay, from word it is starting and word it is stopping. From simple to complex. Okay, maxims of teaching. There is a lot of maxims is there. We are studying some of them here. Okay, simple to complex. Simple to complex means from for example, a student first admitted to an KG section or pre-KG section. First they study the alphabets, then they study the words, then they study the sentences, then they study long sentences, then complex sentences. So from the simple to the complex level. Okay, the maxims of teaching is start from a simple to the complex level. Then known to unknown means what we know. We know some words. Okay, from that we study the next level. So that is not to the unknown level. Then seen to unseen means something we have seen. Something seen means we have seen it. Unseen things which is we are not able to go some foreign countries and to know about all these things. It is unseen things, but we are able to understand them by teaching. Okay, by the teacher gave the explanation about, see, we haven't visited the America, but if the teacher explained how the places are, the how the people are, the how it look like, all these explanations give, we are able to understand it. So from a seen place to the unseen place, we are the teacher is taking us maxims of teaching. Then concrete to abstract. Concrete, we know what is concrete. See the table, we are able to touch it, that is concrete things. Okay, abstract means love, honesty, we are not able to touch it, understand, but we are able to understand it even though we are not able to see it. So from we are first we are studying the concrete things, then we later we study the abstract things. For example, the max, we are not able to touch the things, but we are able to understand it. Abstract things is there. Then empirical to rational. The empirical means just listening and understanding. Okay, rational means we are thinking about it and we are understanding it. Okay, so that is called the rational way. So maxims of teaching, we can see that empirical to the rational level. Next is training of senses. Yes, that is an important thing. The maxims of teaching. That is, the training of senses means eyes. When we are listening to a class, okay, when we are taking a class, a teacher should have full concentration there, and the students should also have a concentration. The training of the senses is given by the teacher. Why? And then only we are able to understand it fully. That is, we have to see it, we have to hear it, we have to listen to it in a proper way. Then only we are able to understand it in a proper way. So the teacher make us to use our senses in a proper way. So these are some of the maxims of teaching. That is simple to complex, known to unknown, seen to unseen, concrete to abstract, empirical to rational, training of senses. Some more maxims are there. Just find it. That is encourage of self-study. The teacher is making a student to encourage of self-study means the teacher is making a student to study by herself or by himself. That is, for example, if you are if you are going to study for the net exam, all the students are not going for the classes. Some teachers just inspire them, just tell them, you just go and write for the exams, you hear the classes, okay, you just listen and do it. They are giving a motivations to the students, they encourages them, and they are doing the self study. So but it in not in the lower classes we are not able to do it because they need the guidance of the teacher. When the students grow up to the PG level or to the degree level or to the 10th level or matriculation level, whatever it is, we can encourage them to do the self study. So that is another maxims of teaching. Then whole to part. Whole to part means in the smaller classes we usually study the digestive system, okay, or the eyes. Eyes to help us to see the things, okay, like that things. When we go to the higher classes, okay, when we go to the higher classes, we study the part of the eyes, each and every part, okay. So from the whole to the part we are studying. We are studying it from the whole to the part. Understand? If you are studying some poem, first in the small classes we just recite it, we just enjoy it. When we go to the higher classes, we study the rhyming words in it, the alliterations in it, whatever it is. Okay, there is a lot of grammar things. That all things we studied in the higher classes. So from the whole we study the part by part. So the maxims of another maxims of teaching. Another one is the whole to part. The next is the indefinite to definite. Indefinite means we are not surety about a thing. From indefinite things to the definite things we are studying. Then psychological to logic. Psychological to logic means just hearing and understanding. From that we reaches the logic. Logic is a somewhat superior level. Okay, so superior level, this we can see in the research, in the peer students who are doing research, PhD or researchers in the surveys. All these things we can see the psychological level to the logical level, how they are changing. Follow the nature, that the students are getting encouraging to study what is happening around us and how we have to protect our nature. We have to preserve it. All these things we are studying by the from the classes. So the teaching is the maxims of. Another one is they follow nature. Particular to general. Particular to general means first we study a small thing, from that to we start going to study the general thing. Sometimes we study like that also. We study the alphabets, then we study the words, then the subject, then we study the sentences, then sentences to the long sentences. So from a particular thing to the general also we are studying. So maxims of teaching included that also. So we have studied some of the main points of the maxims of teaching. All these are important thing. You have to go through it. Nearly 12 is there, so you have to study all these 12 thing. That is symbol to complex, whole to part, indefinite to definite, then concrete to abstract. Like that you have to study each and everything. Then it will be easy for you. They may ask questions directly most often from this side. So you study well. Okay, next we are going to study the basic requirements of teaching. When we do a teaching, okay, what all the things are needed for the teaching? First thing is that when teaching means a teacher should be there. The next is a student. These two these two things are needed for teaching, no doubt for that. Then teaching methods is needed. Teaching methods, different methods. I told you there itself. That is direct method is there. For the languages, bilingual method is there. Experimental method is there. Projective method is there. Different methods is there. So the teacher is using different methods. Okay. The different methods are there. Then curriculum. For the PG students, this all the subject has to be included. The curriculum is there. If you follow that curriculum, then only you can study it in a step-by-step process. Then only you can reach the higher level. If you study it in a random way, it is not easy for a student to catch all the things. So curriculum is needed. Then teaching learning activities. A lot of just teaching is not enough. You have to do some activities. Then you are able to register it in a proper way. Understand? If you register it in a proper way in your mind, then it is able to flow out in a proper way. So all these things has to be needed for a teaching. Then society and parents. Okay, without students we cannot teach. Okay, for the students we are teaching. So the society is giving these students. So they are building up the good nature students to the society. So it's a part of society. Parents is needed. All these are requirements of teaching. So basic requirements of teaching, what all the things is the teacher, people means students. Okay, students is teaching method is the curriculum is the teaching learning activities is the society is the parents is this. All these things are needed for the requirements, basic requirements of teaching. So we have seen three things here. Okay, what all the three things we studied today? That is the nature and characteristics of. Here today we have studied three things, that is the nature and characteristics of teacher, then maxims of teaching. Okay, maxims of teaching we have discussed, then basic requirements of teaching. These are the 3 points we have studied today. It is not a long class. You have to study these points. Okay, I have given you the correct points here. So you have to study it in a proper way. Most often they will ask the direct questions from this side. So you can score it easily. So you just listen it. You keep on watching this channel. Please subscribe this one. Okay, then only you are able to get the next videos uploading by me. You can continue with me. You will get classes like this. So the classes are very easy for you to get. The notes and lectures are always there. It will help you to crack the exam very easily. Please keep in touch with me through this channel. Okay, bye. Thank you. We can see in the next class.